It's Team Europe here, and we are with our first ever video deck profile. Well, we sat down all together, all the team, and tried to figure out what's gonna be the best and the most enjoyable deck profile you're gonna have for the first time. And we just got to the agreement of it's supposed to be like a really good deck, which is pretty competitive, but in a form that you have never heard of, like a deck that most of you have no idea what it is, but it's good and it's worth watching and it's very fun to play. Well, let's just dive into it. We play the name of the deck is Chainbit, and if you heard of it, awesome. If you haven't, you have to try this deck. Well, we play 3 Wind-Up Rabbit. Why do we play 3 Wind-Up Rabbit? Because it can dodge, and it has its big brother, which is Thunderbird. Now, most of you are gonna ask, well, dude, why you play 3 rabbits and 2 Wind-Up and 2 Thunderbirds? Well, I'm gonna tell you that Wind-Up Rabbit, I know it's weaker, but it is very, very, very sensitive. It can jump out whenever he wants, unlike Thunderbird, which has to be chained to an effect. Well, also with Thunderbird, I know it's stronger, I know it's getting more points when it's coming back, but you can only activate his effect once per turn, which is not a good thing. If you're running into a Mirror Force, then you're going to lose one. And 2 is a great number. You're going to see him enough, you're going to have him enough, you're going to be chained to Wind-Up Rabbit. Like he and Wind-Up Rabbit are pretty much infinite floaters that just go off and running. Now, we are also running 1, 2, 3 Fossil Dynas. Well, if I would put Fossil Dyna after Wind-Up Rabbit and wouldn't tell you what the deck we're playing is, well, you're going to probably be shocked, yeah. But Fossil Dyna can, you all know what it can do. It can negate, like no player can Spatial Summon, which is okay, because when Wind-Up Rabbit and Thunderbird are jumping off the field and coming back, they are coming back to the field. They are not Spatial Summon. Well, the thing with Fossil Dyna, you don't Spatial Summon in this deck pretty much at all. I think that in my last original, I Spatial Summoned once, and it was Wind-Up Zenmain. So just went in the end of game, and I needed it, so it helped, but that was the only time, like 7 rounds. Well, the next card, okay, so this card just does the work. It's so good against the meta. Every single deck is amazing against. I know in spellbooks it can be that much okay, but your matchup against spellbooks is pretty good, so you're okay to go. And 1 bear. Why bear? Well, when they thought about this deck like a few years ago, like 1 year ago, I think. So they had only 3 Wind-Up Rabbit, and they didn't have searchers, and they didn't have anything. So you're gonna find out why bear is here, like in the next card after the next card. Okay, Pot of Duality. Again, you're not special, adds consistency. If you can run this card, just run this card. And now, why do we run bear? 1, 2, 3 Tenkeys. Tenkeys are searchable. Tenkeys are searching your cards. And in this start, I just want to have Wind-Up Rabbit every time. So Wind-Up Rabbit is like you can have as much as you want. So like with Rabbit, you just want to have 1 on the field, 2 on the field. It's okay. Now the thing is that it clogs your back row. So bear is more here to destroy those cards, like more to destroy those cards instead of like plussing you. But he can plus. You can definitely plus, and if you plus, this is such a good play to this deck, because like this deck doesn't pluses. It's like minuses your opponents, because you can jump off things, and you have so many cards to like can multiple destroy your opponent's monsters and everything. Well, if you can destroy your opponent's monsters, then let's just make them useless, right? 3 Black Garden. what the fuck this card means. Well, sorry if I insulted anyone. Just kidding. This card is tremendous. Why? Every monster that normal summon or special summon gets halved permanently. Like, unless they're gonna like use Lance or Amnesty in the chain, then the monster getting halved. They have nothing to do with it. And the opponent's getting a token. Now, the one thing I don't like about this card is that I don't care. Like, you know what? They can get a token. They can do whatever they want if I normal summon or something. But you're gonna get why to run this card really in just a second. But this card is like, it starts a chain, and that's good for you because then you can normal summon Wind Up Rabbit, and then you can chain Wind Up Rabbit effect. Oh, and the tokens doesn't get halved. They stay at the 1800 permanently. So let's say you normal summon Wind Up Rabbit. Chainlink 1, it started chain. Chainlink 1 is Black Garden. Chainlink 2 is Wind Up Rabbit. You can remove Wind Up Rabbit and Chainlink 1, like Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, resolve backward. First Wind Up Rabbit, then you can remove them. They are still getting the token. That's the thing I don't like, but it's okay because let's say you activated, like they normal summon Thunder King. You don't want him to be here. You activate Bottomless, Compulsory Evacuation Device, I don't know, like freaking TT. So you still get a token, which is cool, but I mean, you still get a token, so yeah, it's nice. So it has like its ups and downs, but over everything, it's a great card. And don't be confused, I do not run Thunder King. I know it's a great anti-meta card, it just doesn't work as well as in this deck as well as other anti-meta decks. Well, let's say you normal summon Wind Up Rabbit effect bounces off, they get a token, but then Wind Up Rabbit is not spatial summon. That's why we can run Fossil Dino. That's why we can run Thunderbird. Is returned to the field. And like people are gonna say, alright, so you run Fossil Dino, but then when Wind Up Rabbit is returned to the field, so they're going to destroy Fossil Dino. Okay, first of all, you have no idea what you're talking about because it's returned to the field. And I have actually some stupid people in my locals telling me that, and you're stupid, so don't listen to stupid guys, alright? Okay, now to search these guys, we run 3 terraforming. Searching, you want this card as quick as possible. And Dark Hole. Now, Dark Hole, again, Massive Destruction, great for this deck. Every Massive Destruction you can get, like, it's good. Now, the 3 most important cards in your deck you have 3 of each, which is 3 Black Garden and 3 Wind Up Rabbit, and you have 3 searches for each. Like, I think that with 10k is more than 3 searches because you can get like Baron plus off him, which is great. Okay, now we're going to the traps. I think it's 3 to like 9 monsters and 12 or 11 spells. You can count it. Now you have 19 traps. So yeah, it's 9 monsters, 12 spells, and 19 traps. 3 Finish Chain. This card is very debatable, I know, but it helps you when they have monster effects that can destroy your Black Garden, which is something that you don't like. Well, and then I'm gonna do. I was gonna say it in the end, but I'll say it too here. All right. So I'm gonna do super cool text and super cool variants of this deck. If you're gonna like this this video, so just let me know and I'll be happy to do it. Okay, 3 Compulsory Evacuation Device. You all know how good this card is, and you have so many chainable cards in here, so it can chain to Rabbit Effect and then you can bounce off. You just don't need to talk about this card, this format. 3 Bottomless Trapple. You see how much monster hate we have here? It's good. Like, as I started saying, Black Garden Effect, let's say the normal summon the Thunder King, we don't like him. Well, it's not getting to 1950, I think it is. Yeah, 1950. If you activate the Bottomless, because if you activate the Bottomless on the Thunder King, it's chaining 1 Black Garden, chaining 2 Bottomless, and then like it goes backwards. So Bottomless, remove Black Garden, then activates. Well, you still get a token because the monster was summoned, but you're not gonna, and you're gonna get a token, and the monster won't be on the field, so you can search with tanky or whatever after. What is so good about Black Garden is that you are getting the token with the huge amount of backwards you have. So 1800 seems little, but it's really, 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 really helpful. After that, many people thought in the beginning that they made this deck, like, I don't know, 3 months ago, I think, like in the YCS, New Jersey it was, like with Wilson Sang took it to the top. I mean, this is a very, very, very different variant. I ran much more traps, I ran fossil dinos and stuff that he didn't run. Well, the thing is that you use the bottomless, and people thought that, let's say that you use the bottomless, so the monster is no longer on the field, so Black Guardian won't give you a token. But it's the same with Rabbit. It's still, the monster was still summoned. The card doesn't have to have the monster attack points to special summon a token, so you do get a token, and the opponent gets when you special summon. Now, if you want to run card in this deck, it's cool. You can't. I mean, you can, but you can't, because you special summon the monster, so it's not good. And now I just want to remind you something before I'm going to forget. Black Guardian is an awesome card because of another thing. Let's say you have Tanky, and you want to get a plus, and you see that they don't have much back row, you're not afraid. You search Tanky, normal summon Bear. Yeah, they're going to get a token, but you can pop it up with Bear. Let's say they have a big monster which you don't want to, so you pop with Bear, and then you're getting another Tanky, because Bear is 1800, but then it gets a plus 100. So it's 1900, which is great. And another thing, the second effect of Black Guardian, which not many people know about, you can send this card and the tokens to summon a monster which are attack points is exact to the token you send. So you can send 2 tokens from your opponent's field to get Bear back. And I'll think how good it feels to have Bear with an open field that you can attack into. Well, now let's continue with the trap. 2 TT, as I said, massive distraction, minus your opponents. Awesome. Again, careful such you don't have to jump. Now, 3D prison. I mean, I do want to run as much as trap as I can, and this card, just people don't expect it like anymore, because they changed it in a compulse, but I have so many space, so I can run this too. Because let's say the normal summon, they're not scared anymore, because people don't like to blind the MST, and if they're gonna use the MST, they're gonna use probably on Black Guardian. This one, when you play this deck, never open with Black Guardian. Like, have it in your hand, set 2 back rows, pass a turn if you want. You can summon 1 monster, like let's say Wonder Private, they're expecting special summon, and then if they have MST, they're gonna use, like, what are the chances of they having MST in their 7th draw or the 6th draw? Unlike they have it in their first 5. They're gonna use it if they would like to blind the MST, and that's probably what they're gonna do. I mean, late game and mid game players don't blind the MST, so if the summon was okay, they're not gonna think you have a trap and deep prison. Well, now Dark Bribe. Why Dark Bribe? Dark Bribe is I mean, he negates, and Starlight Road, I know you have huge revolution over, but he's also a counter, so you can only chain a counter with him, and I want to see who's going to judgment this card. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it does happen that they judgment this card, or they judgment, and then you get a Dark Bribe. I think that 70, 75, 80% of the times judgment, it's on a card. And I rather they like get a card instead of me losing 14,000 life points. Like, yeah, half of my life points, basically. So yeah, you don't want it. This is a great card, and like late game you're gonna have Black Guardian, and you're just gonna want to protect it. So that's what the work in it. Okay, now the 2 of the Brigade. Warning, 1-1 help this deck. I mean, I think that it's probably helped any deck, but in this deck, because you're on so low count of monsters, so it really did. Now let's go to the extra really quick, because it doesn't matter, so I'm gonna do it first. And you run your rank trees. I started some Zenmates once, I think. Yeah, in my locals. It was okay. It's helped, I mean, yeah. But just really you don't special summon, so it's just whatever you want to run. I'm not even going to explain. You can run Ophion, which, let's say you draw the 2 Thunderbirds and you want to go into it. Yeah, it's cool. But I don't know, I didn't try it, okay. Well, for heroes, which has so many back row removal, even the OTK, even the one that play Gemini Spark, well, that helps. I mean, they can't, let's say they sparked all my back rows and they don't have Smashing Ground, or they don't have mind control, what is it, the card that takes my monster. So they have one, like usually of each, so if they have. So those ones stop them, and against Samurais, which is like duel 2 when they're gonna start, unless they started and then you're gonna start. So that just puts so much work, because they can't take this or Photodinos off, because unless they have a hand of 6 Samurais, which I think they run at 1, maybe the one